Welcome back to Figgy in the North, where we explore Iceland not just as a destination, but as a living landscape. One that changes with the light, the weather, and the way you choose to move through it. I am Figgy, and today we're setting out on a road that many people think they know, the South Coast. It's often called Iceland's most popular route, and yes, it has waterfalls you've seen on postcards, beaches that flood Instagram, and glaciers that show up in every travel brochure. But popularity doesn't mean shallow. Because if you slow down, if you give this road the time it deserves, the South Coast becomes something else entirely. It becomes a story of water and ice, of fire buried under glaciers, of villages shaped by isolation, and of a landscape that is constantly, visibly changing. This isn't a day trip. This is a journey east, all the way to Huff. Leaving the city and entering the land. Leaving Reykjavik, the road feels deceptively gentle. Low farmland stretches out, dotted with horses and sheep. Mountains sit far in the distance, hazy and unassuming. But slowly, almost without realizing it, you cross an invisible threshold. The land begins to rise. Cliffs appear. Water starts falling from places it shouldn't. This is where Iceland stops feeling theoretical and starts feeling immediate. Seljalandsfoss and Glufubúi, water that moves around you. Seljalandsfoss isn't just something you look at. It's something you walk into. The waterfall drops from an ancient sea cliff, a reminder that the coastline once reached much further inland. Today, water spills over that cliff in a clean, elegant ribbon, and you're invited to step behind it. Standing behind Seljalandsfoss is disorienting. The world blurs. Sound becomes constant. The sky fractures into mist and light. It's playful, almost joyful. However, keep in mind that this is a summer thing. The path behind the waterfall is often closed in the winter due to slippery conditions. Just a short walk away is Glufubúi. Hidden behind a rock face, Glufubúi requires effort. You wade through shallow water, duck under stone, and suddenly find yourself inside a narrow gorge where water crashes down into a confined space. It's loud, it's dark, it feels secret. Together, these two waterfalls tell you something important about the South Coast. Nothing here is just one thing. Optional detour. Nauthúsagil Ravine. If you want to push a little deeper here, Nauthúsagil offers a short ravine hike that feels like stepping into a fairy tale. It almost feels like you're no longer in Iceland at all. Moss-covered walls rise on either side. Streams run underfoot. Ropes guide you through tight spaces. It's playful, slightly challenging, and deeply intimate. This is where you start learning a key South Coast lesson. The best moments often require leaving the parking lot and exploring a little deeper. Skogafoss, power and scale. By the time you reach Skogafoss, the landscape has grown confident. This waterfall doesn't need subtlety. It's wide, loud, and unapologetic. Water slams into the ground with such force that mist constantly rises, and on sunny days, rainbows stretch across the spray like punctuation marks. Stand at the base, and you feel small, pleasantly so. Climb the stairs to the top, and something changes. The chaos disappears. The river becomes calm, winding inland toward glaciers and volcanic highlands. It's here that many people end their day, and that's wise. Stay nearby if you can. See Skogafoss in evening light, in early morning quiet, maybe even under northern lights or low clouds. It becomes a different place when the buses leave. If the weather is good and you have some extra time, the path above leads to more waterfalls. Kvernúfoss, the quiet counterpoint. Just beyond Skogafoss lies Kvernúfoss, a smaller waterfall reached by walking into a narrow gorge. It's softer, quieter. A reminder that Iceland doesn't always need to shout. This is another waterfall you can walk behind when the weather conditions are right. Part 2. Ice, Ash, and Black Sand. Solheimajokul, walking toward change. Solheimajokul is where the South Coast turns introspective. This glacier is visibly retreating. Signs mark where the ice once reached, not centuries ago, but within living memory. The ice itself is layered, white, blue, streaked with black ash from past eruptions. Meltwater pools at its edge. The glacier cracks and groans, shifting even as you watch. Guided hikes here aren't just adventures. They're lessons. You learn how glaciers move, how they shape the land, and how fragile they are. The stop lingers with people. It asks you to think forward, not just admire. Solheimsandr plane wreck, a human footnote. The plane wreck on Solheimsandr is polarizing, and that's okay. A long walk across a vast black plain leads to the remains of a U.S. Navy DC-3 that crash-landed here decades ago. Everyone survived. The plane didn't. Seen one way, it's a photo op. Seen another, it's a reminder. This landscape doesn't care about us. Dyrhólaey, the big picture. From Dyrhólaey, the south coast finally reveals its full sweep. Cliffs drop into the sea. Beaches curve beyond sight. In summer, puffins nest at your feet, completely unfazed by visitors. This is where the road that you've been traveling becomes visible as part of something much larger. Reynisfjara, where the land meets the sea. Reynisfjara doesn't feel welcoming, and that's its power. Black sand stretches endlessly. Basalt columns rise like something engineered rather than formed. Waves crash with unpredictable force. Offshore, the Reynisdrangar sea stacks loom, steeped in folklore. This is a place that demands respect. Sneaker waves here are deadly, and the ocean must always be watched. But stand back, stay alert, and let the place speak. This is Iceland stripped of softness, elemental, raw, and unforgettable. Important note, check the warning sign at the entrance carefully. If the light is red and the gate is closed, please respect the closure and watch from the viewing platform only. Don't risk your life. And then Vik, a pause in the journey. After Reynisfjara, Vik feels like a shelter. It's a small village, but an important one. Food, fuel, warmth, and human scale return. From the hill by the church, you can see black sand beaches stretching east and west, the ocean folding into itself endlessly. Vik is a perfect overnight stop. Not because there's so much to do, but because it lets you rest. Part 3. Canyons, Lava, and Glacial Kingdoms. Fjaðragljúfur, Patience in Stone. Fjaðragljúfur is slow beauty. A river carved this canyon over millennia, winding back and forth in deliberate curves. Moss softens the edges. Silence dominates. Walk the rim path. Pause often. Let the place set the pace. But be sure to stay on the marked paths. Many have wandered off, damaging the sensitive vegetation. Leave the place as you found it for others to enjoy. Eltroin, Fire Remembered. The Eltroin lava field is vast, quiet, and unsettling in its history. Formed during one of the largest eruptions in recorded history, it reshaped Iceland and affected the climate across Europe. Today, it's covered in moss, almost gentle. This is the South Coast's paradox: destruction softened by time. Part 4. Vatnajökull and the Ice Lagoons. Skaftafell, where everything converges. Skaftafell sits beneath Vatnajökull, Europe's largest glacier, and feels like a crossroads of Icelandic landscapes. Glaciers spill down valleys. Basalt columns frame waterfalls. Trails range from easy walks to demanding hikes. Even a short visit here expands your understanding of scale. However, if you have some time, hike the trails. Svartisfoss is a highlight, or you can hike a little deeper to get closer to the glacier. Fjöllsárlón, the quiet sibling. Before Jökulsárlón, stop at Fjöllsárlón. It's smaller, quieter, more intimate. Icebergs drift silently. The glacier feels close, personal. If Jökulsárlón is a spectacle, Fjöllsárlón is a conversation. Jökulsárlón and Diamond Beach, time made visible. Jökulsárlón feels unreal. Icebergs calve from the glacier, float the lagoon, and drift toward the sea. Some are brilliant blue, others are streaked with ash. Seals weave between them like they belong. Because they do. Across the road at Breithermerkersander, also called Diamond Beach, those same icebergs wash ashore, scattered across black sand like something precious and temporary. Nothing here lasts long, and that's the point. Visiting at low tide will increase your chances of seeing plenty of ice, but keep in mind this landscape is ever-changing. Final stop, Hoffen in the southeast. Hoffen isn't dramatic, and after everything you've seen, that feels right. Fishing boats bob in the harbor, glaciers frame the horizon, life moves at a steady pace. Eat langoustine, walk the harbor, look back west and realize how far you've come, not just in distance, but in experience. Why the South Coast stays with you. The South Coast doesn't overwhelm you all at once. It unfolds. It layers itself. It teaches patience. And long after you've left, it stays with you. In the sound of falling water, in the memory of ice drifting silently, in the understanding that this land is never finished becoming itself. If this journey resonated with you, take a moment to follow the show, leave a review, or share this episode with someone who loves slow travel and northern stories. It's how these quiet roads find new listeners, and how this journey continues. Thank you for traveling with me on Figgy in the North. Wherever you're headed next, may you go slowly, look closely, and let the road surprise you. This is Figgy, and I'll see you next time in the North.